Today we are releasing crime statistics reported to the South African Police Service and crime detected by police officers in the first 3 months of this year. In February, as the Police Ministry and Police Management, we made a commitment to decisively deal with crime following growing calls by communities for the SAPS to upscale their response to criminals. Members of the media, interrogating the crime figures we are releasing today, it is unmistakable that the decision to upscale visible policing and disruptive operation from Thursday to Mondays in all provinces is beginning to work. More boots on the ground are pushing back on criminality through provincial intelligence-led operations to take down individuals or criminal syndicates hell-bent on terrorizing communities. These criminal lockdowns have been adopted by all provincial commissioners and are guided by crime intelligence and crime trends and analysis. This progressive form of policing is adapted from Gauteng-based Operation Okamlau, which has been ongoing for 5 years. This follows the need for SAPS to upscale its responses to crime and to lock down and squeeze the space for criminals. Fellow South Africans, Operation Okamlau has been upgraded and nationalized in Operation Chanela. Although it is its early stages, Operation Chanela is gaining momentum and is being intensified in identified crime hotspots in all provinces. The operation will and must remain stubborn in its pursuit for safer communities through stop and searches, roadblocks, execution of search warrants, tracking and tracing of wanted suspects, and the removal of dangerous weapons and illegal firearms. These operations will not be a one-size-fits-all, or will they be box-ticking exercises. Operation Chanela is being closely monitored and evaluated at a provincial and national level for maximum effect. Members of the media, each week this ministry and SAPS management are receiving detailed reports on the outcomes of Operation Chanela. The meeting also informed the redirecting of resources to where they are most needed. Our crime figures show no matter which part of the country you are in, crime escalates over the weekends. The focus of Operation Chanela will not be limited to weekends, but certainly operations will be heightened this time over the weekends. Fellow South Africans, yes, we are responding to crime and the criminal lockdown is on. Sithi Chanela Phoyisa, Chanela Mphakathi, phezu kwazo izigebengu maphoyisa, balekani izigebengu, let us all sweep away criminality. Operation Chanela will mean, come Thursday, all boots are on the ground throughout the weekend. All provincial and district commissioners are expected to lead from the front during these operations. The do as I say attitude no longer has space in this organization. We want police management in all districts to adopt do as I do approach. Station commanders must work side by side with their members on the ground as they sweep the streets clean from criminality. Ladies and gentlemen, between January and March this year, less children were killed in South Africa compared to the same period last year. One child murder is one too many, and the South African Police Service must strive for zero tolerance on the murder of children. Children murder decreased by almost 20%, which is 19.9% exactly, and a slight decrease was also noted in assault GBH cases of children. Sadly and alarmingly, 29 more children were victims of attempted murder compared to the same comparative period last year. 360 more attempted murder cases were registered and investigated by SAPS involving minors. The women of this country continue to be stalked by violence, mainly at the hands of men. A double-digit percentage increase of 21.5% was recorded in the attempted murder figures for the fourth quarter. This means there were 1,485 attempted murders of women in South Africa in the first 3 months of this year. 969 women were killed in the same period, and over 15,000 women were assaulted, and the SAPS are investigating assault GBH cases of this. Murder increased countrywide by 3.4% between January and March 2023. This is the lowest single-digit decrease recorded compared to the previous 3 quarters. Though it is a decrease, these are not just figures but human lives that should be protected at all costs. This is why these figures prompt us as a police to double up policing efforts to decrease conduct crimes. 6,285 people were killed with either a firearm, knife, sharp and blunt instruments, stone and even bare hand between January and March this year. The majority of the killing took place in KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape and Gauteng provinces, with arguments, vigilantism and robberies topping the motive list of murder. The KwaZulu-Natal province also reported the highest figure of multiple murder cases, followed by the Eastern Cape with 206 and 155 victims respectively. The Free State, Northern Cape and Western Cape provinces recorded decreases in murder figures, with both the Western Cape and Northern Cape reporting double-digit decrease in murder cases. While more work still needs to be done to combat conduct crimes, the drop in murder figures is welcomed. These crime figures also show that the Western Cape is turning the corner on conduct crimes cases. This is largely due to the combined efforts by law enforcement targeting high crimes areas such as the Cape Flats and other high-density criminal areas. It is clear that Chanela in the Western Cape and these improvements must be commended and replicated, especially the Provincial Commissioner of Western Cape, General Advocate Pategile. To address murder and other conduct crimes, 65 million has been allocated to top 30 crime-heavy stations to address murder and other conduct crimes. Over and above this additional funding, we are responding directly to calls by communities to increase the capability and training of the technical response team, that is TRT, known in the townships as Amabaret. The TRT are being deployed at stations and districts in identifying high crime areas. These highly trained and highly skilled officers will act as force multipliers in local level and assist in policing high crime areas. The SAPS is also enhancing specialized tracking teams who will be trained further at provincial and district level to effectively track and apprehend all those outstanding and wanted offenders. The tracking teams will be instrumental in the success of Operation Chanela, where emphasis is also placed on executing arrest warrants. Improvement of the police visibility will remain our strongest arsenal. 1.8 billion has been allocated for the procurement of police vehicles to improve police visibility. The SAPS is also purchasing unmanned aerial vehicles, or so-called drones, to better police from the sky. More drone pilots are also being licensed, and drone pilots interns are being recruited. Body-worn cameras as well as short spotters in high-density crimes areas are being prioritized. Yebo siyashanela, whether on the streets or on the air. The first 3 months of this year has recorded a stubborn increase in the cash in transit heist, that is CIT. We are encouraged that the newly legislated surveillance device technology will make sweeping changes in the crime trend and other organized crime. The first 3 months of this year have recorded much welcome decrease in the trio crimes, including truck hijacking. The same reporting period also saw improvement in recorded stock theft cases. Fewer homes were burgled during this period, and declines were also noted in the robberies at non-residential buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, reported rape cases have shown decreases in the period of reporting, with 6 provinces reporting less rape cases. Reported cases have shown decreases in the period of reporting, with 6 provinces reporting less rape cases indeed. The declines in rape cases are attributed to, among other things, the SAPS upscaling its operations to trace GBVF perpetrators, arresting serial sex offenders and rapists, and ongoing men dialogue with communities. It remains concerning that 10,512 people were raped in the first 3 months of this year. 4,768 of the rape incidents took place at the homes of the victims or at the home of the perpetrator. The declines and improvements in some crime categories are welcome, but should never be interpreted as victories. Crime in the country is still high and stubborn, and we are not about to stand down. The country and communities you serve need you, and you need them to fight and sweep away this common enemy of crime. That is a word from the police. This ministry is again calling on the whole government, whole society approach to fight. We again call on government and all levels to supporting policing efforts by addressing the country's drivers of crime. Without community participation, police will never win the war against crime. We call on community partnership. Demonstrative to our commitment to work hand in glove with communities, for the first time in the history of policing, this administration has realized the funding of community policing forums, CPFs. 70 million of the SAPS budget in this financial year will go to all provinces to support CPFs in terms of their resourcing requirements. This funding will mean CPF members are not short of protective clothing, torches, communication material, and other tools of trade to enable them to be fit for purpose. Community policing remains a vital part of the overall strategy to push back on criminality. We hope this funding will not be abused, but go a long way in supporting community structures and the communities at large. SAPS, together with community structures, big or small, and the ordinary man on the street, we are gradually gaining back the ground from criminals. With those words, we'll ask General Sekhukhune to give us the raw figures as he has prepared for us. Thank you.